Díobh gach duine agus fáilte arás. I've just come back from 3 weeks in the Gaeltach at Coláiste Sheosaimh, and I thought I'd do a video recapping my Gaeltach experience, telling you about it, and hopefully teaching you a little bit about the Gaeltach, and hopefully encouraging you to go next year. So in terms of accommodation, there were 12 people in my house, chuck a shocked. And I was in a room with three others, 2 bunk beds. I had a top bunk. Our Banonty, woman of the house, was called Sheila, and she was lovely. Her cooking was amazing. You got 4 meals a day, so you had bricfasta, breakfast, dinner at like lunchtime, then tea at 5, and supper after the Kaylies at around 10:15, which was usually just tea and toast. In terms of like allergies and dietary requirements, you told her at the start and she'd obviously accommodate them. Her cooking was all amazing, as I've said. You were allowed to leave the house in pairs, I believe, with a cúntóir or a cinera, which they are prefects and student leaders that would just like look after you, make sure everything was okay, and just look after the house. There were 2 cúntóirs in my house, and we were right across from the shop, so we were allowed to go to the shop if we asked the cúntóir, and they said yes, we could go in pairs. So the people was the aspect of the Gaeltach that I was most worried about personally, because I was going not with any particular friends, people from my class obviously, but none of who I would consider my best friends were going. But that's honestly not a problem. You will make friends, don't worry. I got on with pretty much everyone in my house, and by 3 weeks we got on really well. The 3 other people in my room were lovely, and then I made other friends in different houses, because you're in each other's pockets for 3 weeks basically, because you see each other in the classes rangana, in sport time, and at the Kaylies in the evening, and then with the people in your house you see them like constantly, so you're going to make friends. Just you do some icebreakers in classes at the start, and just like be outgoing, make friends, and you can make lifelong friends. I've only been back a day, so I can't really testify to that so far, but I did make great friends, so don't be worried about that. The people will make or break your course though. In the Gaeltach, the days were divided into about 3. So you'd wake up at around 8:30 for breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock you'd have to be at the Coláiste. We walked because our house was just 5 minutes down the road. Other people got the bus in for rangana classes until 1, 4 40-minute classes with 1 20-minute break. Afterwards you would go back to your house for dinner, the main meal of the day, a 2-course meal, and then at 3:30 you'd head back to the Coláiste for sport and activities. So they had loads of sports. They had basketball, hurling, football, volleyball, cycling on some days, and if like me you don't really like sport, don't worry, there's plenty as well. They had a music group, they had arts and crafts, they had jewellery making, they had like board games, they have lots to do, don't worry. With these sports were divided into 2 hour-long sessions, after which at 5:30 you'd head back again for tea, which would be just a small meal, usually pasta and tomato sauce, and then at 7:30 you'd head back for the Kaylies. Definitely, my favourite aspect of Irish College were the Kaylies. They're in the evenings, like I've said, from 7:30 to 9:30, And at first they can be a bit weird and a bit cringy and a bit embarrassing because you don't know the dances and you don't really know everyone really well, and you're in Coláiste Sheosaimh, at least. You're not in like a dark room like a disco or anything. You're in the main hall and the lights are all on and the cúntars and cinnaras are on the stage, and it can feel a bit cringe, especially because there are teachers. But just try and enjoy yourself, and you will enjoy yourself. We were taught the dances on the first day. There was the droline, Bolilimni, and don't be worried about, oh, I can't Irish dance, I won't be able to do it. It's not Irish dancing, or at least we didn't learn any like Irish dances. It's not, you don't have to know the footwork or anything. You just like do really simple dance moves, and a few of them you have to have partners for, which can seem a bit intimidating, but don't worry. Everyone's in the same boat as you, and you're gonna have a great time. My personal favourite dance was Seachtar Oscóir Seachtar, which was just 7 people facing 7 people, and you'd have to make like an arch and make trains and go through, and it was fun. The Kaylies are great. Just my biggest piece of advice would be at the start of the Kaylies, when they're starting, in the first few, try and enjoy yourself, and also just make an effort to enjoy yourself, and you will enjoy yourself. And soon they'll be some of the best parts of Irish college. And also go all out on the themes. A lot of the Kaylies had themes, like there was Born August Dove, black and white, county colours, Hawaii night, 70s night. So I didn't bring costumes for a lot of them, and because they don't tell you beforehand, some of the costumes can be hilarious because there are no shops, it's rural Ireland. So just be creative and you could win house points or a prize. Okay, so in terms of the Gaeilge, in terms of the Irish, try your best. For the first like half of the week, or for the half of the first week until like Wednesday, they're lenient on the Irish because a lot of people come here with little to no Irish. Like I would have described my Irish as okay. Like I could carry a conversation. Now I can have full conversations in Irish because you can't speak English in the Coláiste or like on the beach or anything. Loads of people do anyway, but if you get caught, you could be put in the Lower Berla, which means English books, which means English book, and it's like a 3 strikes and you're out thing. You'll be sent home. But in the house itself, in your room with your friends, almost nobody spoke Irish. If you're really strict cúntar or cinnara, that could be a bit of a downer, but just try your best. Even if you just like slipped Irish phrases into a conversation, like even if you were just saying something and then you went like, oh my yeah, instead of oh my god, like that's fine. Just try and slip Irish into conversations, and then in the wrong night you do learn a lot of useful Irish. If I had to pick out 2 highlight moments, first of all, I'd go with the Rose of Kilkieran, Ross Kilkieran, because the Coláiste Sheosaimh was located in Kilkieran. It was basically a drag show. So there were 8 or 9 lads, me included, who girls from the girls' houses would come with like a dress, makeup, everything. They'd make you up. You'd have to invent a persona. Mine was called Persephone, and she talked like this. Okay, tractor. My window's open, sorry. She talked like this, and she was just a bit of a pain. And you'd have to go up on stage and like do like an interview and a catwalk. It was amazing. I loved it. And I won 3rd place. And I personally felt like there was very little judgment in the Gaeltacht because you're all there together, and I think everyone realises that if you're going to judge people and make enemies, it's just going to lower the tone of enjoyment for everyone. So yeah, Secondly, the second moment that I'd have to pick as a highlight would be the excursion, the tour that we took in the third week. We went to Padraig Pearse's house in Conamara, which was a bit of a pain, to be honest. It was really boring. We went to Galway shopping centre in Galway City, and I bought loads of outfits and pennies, and I bought a disposable camera so that I could like document the last week, because you're not allowed your phones. I'll get to that in a second. And then we went to Leisureland Amusements in Salt Hill. It was a really fun day. I loved it. So, phones. This was also another one of the things that I was apprehensive about going to the Gaeltacht. But basically, the rules differ from college to college. I believe in Coláiste Sheosaimh in Mayo, you're allowed your phones for I think half an hour after dinner each day. In Coláiste Sheosaimh, the one that I went to, it's much more strict. You're not allowed your phones except for half an hour after dinner every Thursday for texts and texts only, but they don't police that because that's what the Moon Tours say, but like no one minds because everyone goes on social media and stuff. But you really won't miss your phone. At least I didn't, and a lot of people who I talked to didn't, because you're kept really busy and you're having a great time, hopefully, so you won't really miss your phone. Some people did bring fake phones. I'm not gonna say to do that. It's up to you completely. But yeah, one person was sent home, I believe, because of all the places they could have hidden their fake phone, they chose to hide it under their pillow, and then the Bannon-T came in to change the sheets and they got sent home, which was a bit stupid of them, but that's, so that's the rules on phones. I would just say hand it up. You might miss it at the start, and write letters. Letters were one of my favourite things as well, because you'd write letters to people and getting the post in Coláiste Sheosaimh was kept in like a big set of shelves in one of the classrooms, and you just go and take your letters, and it was great as well. And your parents can come and take you out at the weekends. If your parents take you out on Saturday evenings in Coláiste Sheosaimh, you don't have to go to Mass, so that is a plus. Because Mass is in Irish and is very boring, I am told. Anyway guys, I think I'm going to leave this video here. I really hope you enjoyed it and you learned a little bit more about the Gaeltacht. Make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and make sure you have notifications on to never miss an upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Slán!